Let's highlight the reality of what we just saw. A woman who's taking advantage of an Uber service, an Uber driver, has decided to call that Uber driver a slave and the N-word. Please keep in mind, she had these thoughts before she ever got in that car. So there is nothing that happened between that car ride and her being outside that made her all of a sudden think this way. She already thought this way. The argument provided an excuse to eliminate the barrier created by social normalities and courtesy. She eliminated that barrier in order to say what she already felt. The reason it's important to highlight this is because it provides a mirror for reflection and hopefully correction. To the driver, I appreciate the fact that you handled it professionally. You should never have to go through what you went through. It is a shame. Obviously, you are not the problem. People like her are. And once again, this is America. Remember, America is beautiful and ugly at the very same time. This is the ugly part of America. These stories are reminders that we have a lot of work to do. These stories are reminders that when you decide to act in this manner, if you decide to be a caring and racist, bigoted, the person in front of you may not be recorded. Maybe it's the person on top. Maybe it's the person to your left, to your right, or behind you. Somebody's watching. All right, Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is just a point of like where we really need to recognize the fact that the United States has never fully reconciled with our history of slavery. Quite literally, the entire culture around customer service, all of the norms and expectations that a lot of people have when it comes to customer service in the United States were quite literally directly shaped by our history of slavery. That's why other countries don't have customer service like we do. They don't have tipping like we do, right? They don't have this like entitlement mentality about like being waited on a regular basis. That's not a thing in other countries. It is specifically because of the United States history of chattel slavery why this is so common. And like, because like she had all those thoughts in her head, right? And she like decides that this was the moment to blurt it all out. Like one of the first things that she said, she complained because her phone was dying. She didn't charge her phone and decided to blame somebody else for it. Somebody who, mind you, is if they're driving for Uber are like incredibly underpaid, right? And like incredibly mistreated. And so like fundamentally everything about this is just like deeply shameful and infuriating. And if she hit him at the end there, right, that's battery, right? And that's a crime. And like with everything that she said beforehand, seems pretty clearly a hate crime as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this would be one of those crimes where the local prosecutor, they don't have to be creative. You literally have the elements necessary to prove a hate crime. You have the racial taunt utilized during the commission of a crime. That's really all that is necessary. For those two to work in concert, you then have the basis for a hate crimes charge.